It's exciting! We got the job, baby!
Go away. Go away. I will close the door.
I'm trying not to stuck right there! Shake and bake. Fire the cannon! Fire the cannon!
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another edition of the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. It's the Sports Web on a happy
Hump day!
edition of the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter. What time is it? It's my time. And, of course, for fans of the Sports Web and Go Bucs fans, it is your time. How do we start off this show? As you know them, you love them, you got to have them. Bring your passion, bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense on tonight's show. We'll have my co-host, Mr. Harry, the Greek professional, handicapper extraordinaire, breaking down all the Bucs news of the day after they interview Todd Monken. So the question will be raised for the night. Who would you rather have? Would you rather have the previously interviewed today, face-to-face interview, Todd Monken, who worked with the Bucs from 16 to 18, or the surprise here in the last couple of hours? Bucs fans, listen up. Former head coach of the Miami Dolphins with, I believe, the same record as Todd Bowles, 35-33. So how about that? A fired coach being the new OC, Mike McDaniel, expected to interview with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Friday. So who would you rather have, Monken or McDaniel? Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Like and subscribe to the Sports Web on YouTube. YouTube Super Chats are open. Friend me on Facebook at Peter H. Blake. I promise you. Instagram Live, pblake1003. And, of course, follow me on Twitter, X, whatever the heck it's called these days. Peter Blake at the Sports Web. So there you go. Also, playoff picks tonight. I know Harry the Greek has some great picks for you guys to make some money. So we'll definitely get into that. Mike Tomlin fired. Could that be the next Bucs head coach? Most likely not this year, but maybe in 2027, if all things fall apart as he steps away from the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Rachaad White, the running back that a lot of fans don't like right now, has some honest comments about Todd Bowles and the fans of Tampa Bay. You're not going to want to miss this. Again, open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. So without further ado, as everybody is putting it there, we'll read your comments as always because it is live and interactive. You know, the plan is to eventually expand to TikTok. We're working on that. So we'll see if we can get that done. But without further ado, let me go out to my co-host here. Here we go. Mr. Harry the Greek, professional handicapper extraordinaire. I don't know what it is about Happy Hump Day.
Hump Day.
Even though I had a bad day at work, the mic sounds good. The sound is strong. You know, it wasn't a great day at work, you know, and the last couple of days here hasn't been great, but there is just something. There's an energy here, Harry the Greek, when you get on this mic, when you get on the evolution of sports talk television that you got to love here on a Wednesday night. Welcome, my friend. How you doing?
Not bad, man. Not bad. How are you doing today?
I am doing absolutely fantastic besides the bad day at work, but it happens. It's sales.
It's work, man. Whoever really has a good day. Come on, give me a break.
Well, I usually have pretty good days. I've been having really good days, and that's what happens.
I'd rather be at the track or fishing. Just let me.
Track and fishing, huh? That's what you want to do?
This is not a drill.
I don't know what that was right there. I think you shared something, and it was on my page there, so I just played it. But thank you very much for sharing it there, retweeting it out on X or Twitter, whatever they're calling it. Yeah, you retweeted it. Good job.
I always retweet Twitter.
You got the production meeting. So the question for the night is, because the Bucs interviewed Todd Monken, 59-year-old Todd Monken, who used to be an offensive coordinator for the Bucs from 16 to 18, also happened to work with Baker Mayfield. So once again, connecting the dots at this point, didn't do necessarily that well with the Baltimore Ravens. A lot of people will point and say, you know, why is everybody excited about him? He had Derrick Henry. You had Lamar Jackson. You're not able to get over the top. Furthermore, your offense struggled last year. And then you have Mike McDaniel, former coach of the Miami Dolphins, in for Friday. So let me ask you here, the Greek, who do you want, Monken or McDaniel?
I have to go to Texas on.
No, you can't. No, you can't listen. This is not your betting show here.
I'm going to El Paso when it comes to Monken. I don't like him. El Paso. Just keep going.
So you're passing on Monken, so you go with McDaniel.
I'm higher on McDaniel, but I don't.
Well, higher is the key word because a lot of people think he's high in his press conferences, but then again, you look.
He reminds me too much of Tressman.
Well, I can't fault you for that.
I can't unsee it. Can you? Now that I told you that, you're like, yeah, kind of.
Yeah, well, Tressman was what was he? A Tampa Bay Vipers coach there for the other football league there for like about 6 minutes.
He was the offensive coordinator under John Gruden back in the Raiders. I mean,
I know. I know. So tell me, so you're choosing McDaniel. Why? Explain your reasoning besides you don't really like Todd Monken. Why would you?
Monken just isn't the answer for this offense, in my opinion. I know he has some history with Baker Mayfield. I just think McDaniels is a little bit more innovative, and I think he'll bring a little bit more actually a lot more to the table. And he's not even the best candidate that's out there.
Who's the best candidate in your opinion?
Oh, there's some offensive coordinators. Let's just see what's going to happen. I think the Buccaneers are going to be very patient, in my opinion, to find an offensive coordinator for this team. And I still don't think they're done looking for a head coach, but that's just my opinion.
Well, I think again, a lot of people would point to, once again, the Glazers not coming out and saying anything, but I think it's a certainty, and that's crazy to say at this point, that Todd Bowles is going to come back as the head coach of the Bucs, to the chagrin of a lot of Bucs fans out there. We talked about it coming in. Mike Tomlin stepping down after 19 years, stepping down. I kind of think he was asked to be fired or retire at this point. He did it graciously. He's stepping down after 19 years. Do you think that he could be a possible candidate, if you will, next year, if the wheels fall off of this Todd Bowles experiment in 2026?
That's always a possibility, Peter. But I just, until the Buccaneers organization and the brass says, "Hey, he's our coach," just like Lovie Smith did, that Rex is our quarterback.
Rex is our quarterback.
I just don't put any.
Put nothing on it.
No.
All right. Let's see here.
And again, let me preface why I'm saying this, Pete. It's primarily because there's so many fans across the world that want him fired.
Mm-hmm.
And because there's so much skepticism on whether or not the man's going to be around, nobody has talked about it within the organization. Only the pundits. Yeah, sources say, but they're not saying who the source is. A source isn't the owner, and he sure as hell isn't the general manager. That's why when there's smoke, there's fire.
All right, I think he comes back. I've talked to people in the know about this, so we'll see. You've got your sources, so we'll see how it works out. But you don't fire all your coaches and then eventually fire him. I don't know how that would work, although it's not out of the realm of possibility. But I always bring this up there. A lot of fans want him fired because
what's the difference if they let him go a week ago with all the assistants, or if they let him go in 2 weeks? It makes no difference, Peter.
All right. Well,
do I want to let me? And again, I'm not speaking out of both sides of my mouth. I like Todd Bowles. I'm just saying, because nobody has talked about it, that this could be in the realm of possibility.
So until the Glazers come out, you're like a lot of Bucs fans. I'm not saying you're holding out hope, but there's a lot of Bucs fans out there holding out hope that he's done with Tampa Bay and he's fired. I think he's coming back. I don't think you allow a guy you don't tell a guy to fire all his coaches, most of his coaches, besides Larry Foote and George Edwards, and then fire him. It doesn't make any sense to fire everybody at the end of the day. I'll tell you what, let's go out to this guy right here. Mr. Best of the Bay, Tampa Bay, Ray Kennedy. Welcome to the evolution of Sports Talk Television on a happy hump day edition, my friend. What's going on?
Brothers, good evening. Just enjoying the opening to the Sports Web. Looking forward to the show tonight. I had to share with you guys. And Harry, how are you this evening, sir?
What's up, brother?
Brother, I'm good. I just got home, but before I got home, I got to tell you guys, I had just some national sports radio guy on, one of the local stations that carries their outside sports, their source, and he was just talking about Harbaugh, and the fact that after the long tenure there in Baltimore, and he gets fired, and this is what was so funny. He made reference to Lamar Jackson saving Harbaugh's job. He's like, he's a coach that got lucky when he lucked into Lamar Jackson and then wins a Super Bowl with him. And I'm like, do some of these ex-gen kids not remember that he had Joe Flacco? And Joe Flacco, I think, is still playing somewhere. And I'm like, these guys, before you start making your long narratives about these coach firings, just do a little bit of homework. And that's why I'm watching the Sports Web, brothers. So how you guys doing tonight?
I'm doing good, man. I'm curious to see what fans think. We threw the question out there. Todd Monken interviewed today. Of course, the former offensive coordinator of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers from 16 to 18, also worked with Baker Mayfield in 2019. he interviewed. So is it Monken or is it the breaking news here the last couple hours? Mike McDaniel interviewing with the Bucs on Friday. Who would you rather have, Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy, Monken or McDaniel, and why?
I like the interest with Monken, especially going back with working with Fitzpatrick in his 1 year as OC with the Bucs in 2018. He's, Fitzmagic and put some Bucs to gear in Canton for a minute there. But then he's also had some downtimes too, which happens with injuries, but we'll go there another time. Not like we talk about the Bucs and injuries and lack of offense. But Mike McDaniel, he's sexy. I mean, sexy as an OC. He wears the kicks. He's the guy that can motivate his offense.
Right. He looks like Mark Trestman.
I knew he was going to go there. I don't know why I knew it, but I knew
he looks like Mark Trestman.
He's a Mark Trestman fan, I guess. He likes Mark Trestman. Listen, he's been very successful in the league, just a couple years removed from having one of the number one offenses in all of football when it comes to rushing. I think a lot of Bucs fans should be excited that if he did come here as an offensive coordinator, the improvement with Bucky Irving and most likely a Sean Tucker after
it makes sense because
Rashad White and his comments last night. I don't know if he's coming back or not.
Well, the thing with again with McDaniel is it makes sense because instead of going to McVay, and McVay's almost like a seedling beside of Kyle Shanahan, we're going straight to the Shanahan tree. And McDaniel was the sexiest OC when he was there with Shanahan in the 49ers. He stays in state, and you're right, Pete. We already have the zone blocking offense because we're running that Shanahan tree, which is a shake off of the McVay tree, which is a shake off of the John Gruden tree. So it's a sexy hire, but I think it would really play with this locker room, but I don't want to have another narrative where we're wondering if Coach Bowles or if Lazard are running his team or someone's calling timeouts for Bowles. Bowles has got to be the coach of this team. Your OC's got to be someone who can rally the troops, but they're not going to take away from the identity of the head coach. Otherwise, why do you have one?
Well, look, McDaniel, he's already interviewed for head coaching jobs with the Falcons, Rams, Titans, and Browns, offensive coordinator job with the Lions. And then also the Eagles are to be expected. And I was listening to some national radio last night while driving Sexy Red, my Go Bucs Red Tesla, if you will, around the Tampa Bay area. And they were saying how the Bucs are not an attractive destination because of Todd Bowles possibly being a lame duck coach. Do we agree with that? Because I don't. And I'll tell you why. Once again, Baker Mayfield, McDaniel has spoken highly about how much Baker is a good quarterback in this league, how we like to work with them. You have Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and Emeka Ibuka and Jalen McMillan and Tez Johnson and Bucky Irving and Sean Tucker. Oh, my. There's so many weapons. I get it. Detroit has weapons too, but they got Jared Goff. I'll take Baker Mayfield over Jared Goff any day of the week and twice on Sunday. You look at the Philadelphia Eagles. They've got their own problems. I'm not sure about Jalen Hurts, but I would take Baker Mayfield over the weapons there, especially with an unhappy A.J. Brown. So why is this whole idea of possibly Todd Bowles being a lame duck coach, this not an attractive destination? Because what we've seen here, gentlemen, is when coaches come here as an offensive coordinator, usually they earn a head coaching job, a.k.a. Dave Canales, a.k.a. the snake there in Jacksonville, Liam Cohen. Your thoughts?
Harry?
Waiting on you, brother.
Come on, man. I've been talking too much. I want to hear some of the sexy Greek.
Oh, my. Enough with the sexy stuff with you. I got this sexy right here.
That's good enough to suck right there.
Here's this.
Okay, man. Don't hate Peter.
Yeah, sexy this. How about
Don't
this?
hate
Right
the
here.
player, hate the game, bro.
Calling another man sexy. Get the hell out of here. Go ahead, Harry.
Hi, sexy Ray.
You shut up. Go ahead, Harry.
I don't know. Man.
Yeah, well, I don't know what to say either. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Ray, for absolutely derailing the show like always.
That was a good one.
Daniel, when I heard that, it makes sense.
Right.
Because that's the narrative that Todd Bowles has been. The thing is, Peter, 4 years ago, Todd Bowles was a skin of his teeth because he shouldn't have got the job. Leftwich should have got the job.
Right.
But the fact of the matter is, if McDaniel were to come here and Bowles is a lame duck, and this offense is even better than in the top 15, and Baker progresses instead of regresses like we did with the 25, then McDaniel knows he moves right into the team here, and then he gets to be friends with the guy who's still the GM of the 49ers, which ties it back to McVay, and then the 49ers are playing the Bucs 2 years from now in the NFC Championship game, and we're looking back going, that all meant it happen.
Yeah, I mean, again, there's a lot of things to be there's a lot of things to be solved here. A lot of people say, again, lame duck situation, but the weapons are here. And just because Josh Grizzard, who's now fired, couldn't find a way to get those weapons the ball, which Rashad White had some comments on the Loose Cannons podcast, which we'll get to in just a little bit here. Well, very interesting comments. I don't know if you heard them, but yeah, go ahead, Harry.
I just wanted to say, I know we're talking about offensive coordinators, but you want to talk about head coaches, because I brought up that narrative because of the organization hasn't solidified and said, hey, he's going to be our head coach. You have to be under the assumption that the Buccaneers are actually waiting to see what's going to happen. They're waiting for the mic to drop somewhere. And when you talk about a position, is it, in Ray's word, is it the sexy job that they're going to have? Well, you know what? Right now, the sexiest job out there for any head coach or offensive coordinator is going to be the Atlanta Falcons. But if the Buccaneers did become available, it would definitely be one, too. It's not the Giants. It's not Tennessee. It's not Cleveland. I mean, we're not talking.
I disagree. I think the Giants job is a lot more attractive for John Harbaugh, and I'll tell you why. You've got a young quarterback there in Jackson Dart. You don't know what you've got there in Atlanta. You've got a beaten up old.
I know what I got in a running back and in a defense.
Okay.
Well, I could plug a quarterback there. You may not want Harbaugh here, but Harbaugh.
I got you topped. You got Cam Scatterbo.
I was watching the press.
He's done.
Come on. You got Cam Scatterbo.
Cam Scatterbo. You'll be lucky that man plays again.
No, he's going to play again. He's a tough kid. You got also neighbors at the wide receiver.
Break my leg in 100 different places.
Peter, come on. You got Jackson Dart there. You've got a stable ownership.
Peter, 5 more wins than New York. That's a ridiculous statement for you to make. How can you say that a team with 5 less wins is a more attractive team to go to? Are you? I mean, seriously.
Because I'm telling you,
football, but that is not
coaching. Because you going with Bijan Robinson. Who's your quarterback?
They have a quarterback, sir, who's coming off an injury. They have a better offensive line. They have a better defense. They have the best running back in the entire National Football League. They have a tight end. You know what they need? They need a mediocre quarterback to go behind center. Look, New York is a good team. Okay,
New York has more weapons, and they have a better defense than the Atlanta Falcons with the edge rushers that they have at this point. I'm sorry. If I'm John Harbaugh, I go to the Giants. More stable.
I'm glad. My opinion, Atlanta. You know what? Who has a better stable team out there, Webheads? Is it Atlanta? Is that a better pick, or is it the Giants? Go ahead and post your comment.
Yeah, post the comments up there, and I'll tell you why it's a better ownership, because they're more stable. It's not like Arthur Blank and the selling the plywood that he usually sells.
Raheem Morris was an absolute joke, and he took this team to an 8-9.
And the ownership is exactly the same thing. They're a joke because they hire and fire coaches every 2 to 3 years. That's
the Giants have been a stellar team to let Saquon Barkley leave and Daniel Jones.
They let Saquon Barkley go, and what did they do? They got a good running back there. They got a couple good running backs there. They got a quarterback, a young quarterback.
They don't have Bijan.
They may not have Bijan, but listen, you can get away with what they got at this point. And I think John Harbaugh.
There's no Scatterbo.
I will bet you some wings that John Harbaugh chooses the New York Giants over the Atlanta Falcons.
I'm not.
Peter, I bet you.
Peter, if he goes there, it's because the money was there. It's not because it was a better opportunity.
Oh, come on, Harry.
Okay.
Come on, bro.
All right. Sorry.
Ray, we're gonna Ray, go ahead, finish up here.
Oh wait, you remember I was on the phone? I'm impressed. Hey, Peter, I know the show may be packed. You probably have people coming on. Send me the link, and I'm gonna.
There you go. The last 4 people: Falcons. Peter, I'm wrong, and so is everybody else.
I'm gonna tell you right now. You guys can.
But again, it's a great opinion.
Right.
You have a great opinion.
But I'm going to tell you right now.
Don't tell me that they're a better football team.
According to reports around the National Football League, John Harbaugh would prefer to go to the New York Giants simply because of Jackson Dart. You don't have that with the Atlanta Falcons. You don't have a quarterback there. You have a quarterback that's coming off a major injury, who already had a knee injury in his previous years. You got Kirk Cousins in the albatross of a contract there. And once again, you don't have a stable ownership. You got a stable ownership there with the New York Giants, a lot more stable than the Atlanta Falcons. Just my opinion. I get it. Everybody, Bijan. I get that. But you also have some weapons there with the New York Giants.
Tell me you wouldn't give your left and right testicles away for Bijan Robinson in the backfield in Tampa.
I'm not giving anything away at this point. I'm hoping the defense of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers can shut his ass down so you can shut up about him. Open phone line, 727-255-0391 and 727-255-0391. All right, so let's go out to the comments, and then we'll get into some of the statements that were made by Rachaad White. Very interesting. I guess we're going to go out to the phone lines first because this is how it goes. We ask for phone calls. You get phone calls. Trevor, answer the questions of the night. McDaniel or Monken, and what's more stable of an organization in your opinion? Is it the New York Giants with all their weapons and a young quarterback? Or is it the stinking Atlanta Falcons? Go, my friend. Welcome to the Sports Web here on a Happy Hump Day edition.
Hey, gentlemen. So first, I would definitely take McDaniels over Monken. And the reason why is I believe Monken's is mediocre to low caliber of a offensive coordinator.
Okay.
You know, I've been doing some research on him.
Okay.
I know he worked with Baker in 2019. I looked at the offensive rank for the Cleveland Browns in 2019. They were ranked 22nd total overall offense. And then I also realized when he was the offensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens in 2023 in that AFC Championship game.
Yep.
That brilliant game plan where they stopped running the ball and they wanted to throw the ball, and Lamar was struggling to throw the ball that
25 times. Yes, they didn't run it to Derrick Henry.
That was his great idea. So to me, it's like, why fire our OC? Why get rid of a turd and replace him with a turd? That's just how I see it.
That's a good analogy.
I mean, I don't necessarily think Todd Monken's a turd. He's called more plays than Josh Grizzard. Are we really calling another? Come on now, a turd?
I'm just
a turd.
You know what?
Compared to McDaniels, he would be.
I don't know. I think Monken has worked with Baker before. He's got every offensive coordinator, every offensive play caller that the Bucs are interviewing. You notice something. The reason why they're fired, their offenses didn't do well this year. So, but again, there's some good things. There's some bad things. I would take McDaniel too. Younger guy, been able to emphasize the running game there. You've got Monken. He's 59 years old. Although he knows the organization and the ownership is comfortable with him, and he's worked with Baker Mayfield. So I think there's some good but I would take McDaniel. I would. I definitely would. Yeah.
And he had Tua playing decent at one point.
I know not
this year.
Yes.
But he had Tua playing well.
Right.
So, and Baker is a much better quarterback than Tua, in my humble opinion. So I think, with the running game that he can put together, I would like McDaniels. I know it would only be for 1 year, though. I mean, because if he was successful, we all know he's gone the very next year to be a head coach. And what was the other question? The stable organization?
Yes, the stable organization. Is it that Arthur Blank led plywood that he got from Home Depot, Atlanta Falcons, because he hires and fires coaches every 2 to 3 years? Or is it the New York Giants, who, listen, they fire their own coaches also, but they have a lot more weapons, in my opinion. Jackson Dart, a young quarterback there, Cam Scatterbo at running back, Neighbors at wide receiver, and those two edge rushers, Harry, that you forget about, my friend.
Which ones are those?
Brian Burns is a stud.
Burns and of course Kayvon Thibodeau. That they wanted to know where Atlanta. Listen, Atlanta's got Walker and they've got the kid James Pierce Jr. pretty good themselves, but I still think the Giants and John Harbaugh will end up together. I really do.
As far as which organization is stable, I mean, honestly, I don't think either one are stable because the New York
check your phone.
They're pretty brutal in New York. Like if the expectations are high, really high. And then Atlanta, they're not stable because like you said, they hire and fire coaches like we switch socks every day.
Yes. Which a lot of fans would like to do over and over again when it comes to Bucs coaches, which we have comments tonight of fire Todd Bowles.
If
Shocking.
I was a head coach, if I was a candidate looking to take a job as a head coach, I'm leaning towards New York only because, like you said, they have edge rushers and they have a young quarterback. I can work with that. If I'm a head coach, I can work with that because you need to rush the passer for your defense to be successful, and you need a franchise quarterback. And I don't know if Jackson Dart is a franchise quarterback, but I know
pretty damn good, man.
Coach.
He's
I'm
pretty
going to
damn
have
good.
at least 3 to 4 years to find out.
That's it. And if you're John Harbaugh, you got an opportunity to develop that kid. And he's been.
I just you know what I hope with Jackson Dart, because I really like the kid's game. I just really hope that he can learn to pass the ball. He's a very accurate passer. He's a good quarterback when it comes to passing. I just wish he wouldn't take off as much because he wouldn't be sitting on the sidelines.
Kind of reminds you of Baker Mayfield a little bit, doesn't he?
He actually a little bit, but honestly, I think he's more of a runner than he is a passer. Baker's a passer first. That's just my opinion. And Jackson has much, much faster wheels than Baker does. Baker's not that fast. He's pretty elusive.
Yeah.
But Jackson,
I don't mind Jackson running. He just takes entirely too many hits.
Right.
I was watching one of his press conferences, and he says, "I'm going to hit." I'm like, "No, brother. As a quarterback, you need to be sliding, and then when you're on the sideline, you need to be running out of bounds. You can run the ball because in some points you're going to have to run the ball, but be smart about it because the organization is counting on you to be healthy. So he's going to have to learn that. He's being a little knucklehead right now, but the kid's really talented. He's just going to have to be smarter with his body, though."
I agree. All right, Trevor. Good stuff as always, my friend.
Good call, Trevor. Thank you.
Want to, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, good stuff there. Open phone line, 727-255-0391 at 727-255-0391. Let's go out to KR. Evening, Peter and crew. Good to be first. I'm hoping McDaniel doesn't leave Tampa without a contract. Go Bucs. Go Bucs. You say go Bucs. Go Bucs.
Wait up, little boy. Stop. Wait up.
What do you say, Gene? Go Bucs.
Fire the cannon.
Yeah, how about Byron?
How about them Bucks, baby?
All right, good stuff there. Brightside Broadway says, "Hey, Peter, what's going on with you?"
Yeah.
Right side. What's happening?
Right side. Good stuff there. Steve Mike returning. No fire Todd Bowles, I guess. Who would you rather have, Monken or McDaniel? That's the question of the night, Steve. Well, who would you rather have? Let's go out to Tom Banner there, Chicago's finest. Harold, who would win, the 85-86 Bears versus the 2026 Hoosiers? Well,
Banner, that's just seriously.
Keep that thought.
Banner, do me a favor. Go do the Irish jig in downtown, would you?
You and your Irish jig. Let's go out to the phone lines here. Welcome to the Evolution. Who is this? Is this who I think it is?
It is who you think it is.
It is the heel mark, Mr. Frankie.
Frankie.
Yes.
The heel mark.
All right, Frankie, what's going on, buddy?
What are the questions you had? I was listening.
Well,
there was something about the Falcons, and I was like, wait, what?
Okay, well, I see Curtis. I saw Ed was calling, so stand by, call back after Frankie's done here. We're going to try to run through these calls tonight, but the questions are, McDaniel or Monken, who would you rather have? The former Miami Dolphin coach, he's coming in here to interview for the offensive coordinator position on Friday. Todd Monken interviewed today. And what's the more stable organization for John Harbaugh to coach at? The New York Giants, like I say, or as Harry would say, the Atlanta Falcons with Bijan.
Another Todd on the show today.
Bijan.
Okay. I'll take McDaniel.
Okay.
All day.
Why?
Well, he's worked with Baker.
He has not worked with Baker before, I don't think. Todd Monken has worked with Baker. McDaniel, I don't believe, has worked with Baker at all. But he liked to work with Baker.
But he also made Tua look like a stud. He made Tua look like a stud. They put up 70 points in that one game. Come on.
Well,
that was ridiculous.
He's
it
also
was like Madden rookie mode.
Mode, yes. Yes. Okay. All right. And who's the more stable organization for John Harbaugh to go to? Is the New York Giants or is the Atlanta Falcons?
I gotta go with I agree with Harry. Because Bijan is my favorite running back. But I agree.
Probably the best player in football.
I agree with Peter
Oh,
that the Giants are the better organization
well, look
Correct.
at
for
that.
Harbaugh to go to.
Look at that, right
He's
there.
very politically correct.
One more for the good guy, or one more for the bad guy, if you will. All right, Frankie, what else? Then we got to move on, my friend.
So I'm just curious.
Yes.
My big question is because I think if this happened, it would just be like icing on the cake. I
Okay.
don't know what you guys think, but what are the odds of it happening? I think Kyle Pitts coming and signing on the dotted line in Tampa would just be perfect. We need a solid pass catching tight end. I think.
Well, the only
Baker
time he
would
has
go
big.
nuts
Listen,
having
Frankie,
Kyle
the
Pitts.
only time he has big games is against the Bucs, and that's because of the Todd Bowles defense. Everybody else, he's just a normal player, and I think also
Peter,
yes.
I get it, buddy. It's okay.
What?
I wish I was there 25 miles away. I'd give you a big hug.
What's the big hug for?
Because you just don't like anything in your division. I get it. I totally get
Well,
it.
he's also a Florida Gator, but I think he's been
I
disappointed.
definitely want to give
Okay.
you. Yes, I do agree with you on that. He has been very disappointing coming into the league, but
He's
I
been a
think
bust.
he is also showing his
Against
I
the
wouldn't say
Bucs.
that.
Against the Bucs.
I know, and
That's
that's
his big
you
games.
know, you got to let it go, buddy.
He has no other big games against anybody else. Frankie, I know
Peter,
this
Peter.
obsession.
Woosah.
I got your woo-saw. Woo-saw this.
Woosah.
Here's what Tom Brady says.
That's great enough to suck right there.
Hold on. Here's
Woosah.
my buddy, Mr. TJ Reeves of the Buccaneer Radio Network, the media icon. He can't be with us tonight, but he can be with us tonight. Here's what he has to say about your woo-saw.
Go away. Go
Oh,
away. I
can
will
leave?
hold the door.
Can I leave?
Leave. Get out.
Can I?
Get out.
Deuces. I'm going to bed. You gave me the night off. You got me for 25 more minutes.
All right, Frankie. We'll get
Peter,
out of here. Yes.
are you going to do wrestling corner tonight?
I don't know. We haven't done wrestling talk in a while. Really quick, man. We got to run here. But what's your wrestling thoughts? Turnbuckle talk. Go ahead.
Oh, God.
Really?
There's so much going on.
Yeah, because okay. Well, you're gonna have to hold off on it. Call me back later. All right, my friend.
I'll call you back later.
All right, good stuff there.
I just don't want people to get upset. We're going to talk about wrestling, but we don't talk about baseball, hockey, girls gymnastics.
I don't care. I don't care. You know what?
basketball,
If people want to
polo,
start, listen.
fishing.
If people want to start paying me to talk
Hello?
freaking fishing,
Yes, the
or-
Rays are playing at the Trop.
yes, we'll talk about the Rays. You guys want to start paying me to talk about the Rays here? I'll start talking about the
Nobody care about the Rays.
Well, some people do. Go ahead, Curtis. Curtis, welcome to the Evolution.
Damn right. We don't
Who do
care
you
about
want?
no Rays.
McDaniel
Well-
or Monken?
God, I don't know.
Well, I'm not asking.
Can I
you.
get-
Yes.
Can I get Cliff Kingsbury?
Well, I would take that too.
I'll take that right now.
I would take that. But that's not the question of the night here, Curtis. Why are you going to be that guy out in left field? Just
Curtis,
go ahead and
Curtis,
answer.
Because I'm always out of left field.
You're
Bro, it's
way
peak
left
time
field.
of the month right now, bro. Seriously, you just
Shut up.
answer this
Why
guy's
is it?
question.
Why it's
Peter.
Harry?
That's great enough to suck right there.
Well, I mean, listen, I love Peter. Peter's had a bad year.
Yes, he has.
Listen,
And he had a bad day at work. Too many people going.
the Rays,
Yes.
the Seminoles, the Bucs.
Oh,
Peter's had a bad year.
the Lightning weren't good either. We talked Lightning on the. It was a bad year overall for Tampa Bay sports. It was pretty bad. Yes, but we covered it for you. We got you.
I love this. Comment of the night came from Nico Kosmitis. Yeah, Avtos Balakas Krimata.
Listen,
Trust
people
me, he does.
people do pay me to watch me. They actually watch me and watch my show instead of you, Kosamides. Welcome back, by the way. Stop hating me.
That's a Greek follower, and you will show homage, sir.
I do
Before I
show
answer that
homage.
question-
He's always wait, hold on. He's always getting shade, always providing shade here. Kosamides, I gave you the opportunity to be a part of the sports web. I want you to be a part of the sports web, okay? Truce, my friend. Now stop it. All right.
It's
Go ahead.
Kosmitis, okay?
I don't
Can
care.
You say it correctly? I care.
Kosamides.
Kosmitis.
Kosmides.
Nah, Malaka.
What?
Before I answer that question, I got two questions for Harry. Well, I got.
Yeah, what's that, buddy? What do you got?
The first question is, who would you like better?
Between who?
McDaniel.
Oh, that's
Monken.
hands down McDaniel, even though he looks like Mark Trestman.
You said some other bad things about him too.
I was going to say I like McDaniel as well, and I don't know. I don't know.
Well, why do you like McDaniel over Monken?
My dream OC in Tampa is a former head coach from Cleveland. Sorry,
Stefanski.
Number one.
Wow.
McDaniel's offense. His offense has never really been the problem anywhere he's been. I mean, they everywhere he goes, they score points, really.
To a certain degree. Their offense took a step back, but there was injuries last year.
You lose Tyreek Hill, you lose offensive linemen, you know, stuff like that. I mean, that's part of the game. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But even when he was in Seattle, was he in Seattle?
I think you're thinking of Mike McDonald. Mike McDaniel was in San Francisco there.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
That's right. So this guy came
and Washington for a little bit.
So this guy came up under Shanahan.
Yes.
So I mean, and look what Shanahan is doing.
Mm-hmm.
Literally. So as long as we didn't get that guy, what was that guy that left Cleveland?
Stefanski.
God, I can't stand that guy.
Well, Harry likes him. Harry wants him as the coach, or not the coach, but the offensive coordinator.
I'm telling you, man, that guy can call an offense.
No, what isn't he the one that let Baker go though?
He's the one that did put Baker through some things there with the offense. Yeah.
So
I don't know what that relationship is like.
Hold on.
Exactly.
And he also took him into the playoffs.
Very
Just
true.
Saying. And it was Baker never looked so good. In that particular year, I remember that game against Baltimore. That was back and forth. My God, was that huge?
Was that 2020? That was 2020. The Bucs year. The Bucs
Listen,
year.
If we're blessed enough to get Stefanski, because I think Stefanski is going to be a head coach somewhere. That's just my opinion. You get him for 1 or 2 years here in Tampa, and you could be talking about the Bucs will be favorite in the division.
I think Stefanski's going to end up in Tennessee.
Okay.
I think they're going to put him with that young kid Cam Ward.
Well, that's another garbage organization at this point, and they've done no favors to their young quarterback.
I mean, they haven't been anything since Vrabel left.
And that was not a good move by them. It doesn't look like, right?
And Harry, I don't care what anybody says right now. I got the Bears going to the Super Bowl.
Wow. All right. So, well,
that's a strong statement.
I can't stand the fact to watch 3 NFC West teams in the playoffs. I can't stand it. It drives me nuts.
Especially 2 of those that the Bucs beat. By the way, fans keep on saying the Bucs beat nobody. They beat the number 1 seed in San Francisco. But go ahead. Go on.
Harbaugh, I think New York will be good for him. I think it would have been funny if him and Tomlin would have just switched teams. That would have been hilarious to me.
Right.
I would like to see Flores in Pittsburgh.
Wow. Okay, Brian Flores.
You know what? Everybody talks about him. I don't think he's that good of a head coach. Put me in the back room for a second. I got to.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'll put you in the back room.
I mean, you can say he might not be a good head coach, but his defenses are always good anywhere he goes.
Right.
So I mean, don't get me wrong. I would love for him to come into Tampa as a defense coordinator.
But that's probably not going to happen at this point because Todd Bowles is going to retain his right to call plays. Curtis, appreciate the call, man. So if you're John Harbaugh, you would choose the Giants over the Falcons, correct?
I mean, here's the bad part. And I got nothing. I mean, I know we play the Falcons every year. The Falcons have had for years all the talent in the world.
And what have they done with it?
And they just can't get over the hump. I mean, I'll go back as far as 98 when that was a good Super Bowl team in 98.
Mm-hmm.
And, every time they get a good team, something always happens.
Yes.
And the players that they do have, they're going to have to start playing them players. They can't keep everybody.
True. All right, Curtis, we got to run. Use that second call, my friend. All right.
Yep.
All right, let's go out to Abraham. Abraham, welcome to the Evolution here on a happy hump day edition of the Sports Web, my friend. What's on your mind tonight?
So yeah, I saw what you guys were talking about. There's some static in the back, I guess. So
yeah.
So I would say, I think McDaniel did better with 2 options because he has history as a run game coordinator in his previous position before he became an OC. So he's always had good running game, so he can maximize his players. And he got the best out of Tua as a quarterback. And the key component to what was successful with Dave Canales and Liam Cohen was marrying the run and the pass.
Mm-hmm.
So when they tried to run, they were successful in run. I mean, I don't know, Dave Canales not so much, but Liam Cohen was better. But the key concepts what they both had was marrying the run and the pass.
Correct.
And last year they were not good at marrying the run and the pass. So I like that part of McDaniel, and he's got the best out of his players, especially when he was the OC at San Fran. And the first couple of years in Miami, he was really doing good.
Really doing a good job. Yep.
Year,
Offensive coordinator of the 49ers in 2021 after being the team's run game coordinator from 2017 to 20. That's what would have to excite you, what he's been able to do with Devin A-Chain there, and how he's been successful with the Dolphins the last couple of years. He could do the same thing, duplicate that success with Bucky Irving on this team.
Yep. So I just think he's the better of the 2.
Okay.
Todd Monken had probably success in Georgia. Maybe a flashy good season the first year, but then I looked at his path in Bucs. I mean, it's okay, nothing spectacular. And even in Cleveland, okay, nothing spectacular. So I prefer McDaniel to Monken.
All right, man. Good stuff. And then who's the more stable organization you think John Harbaugh would go to? Is it the New York Giants or is it the Atlanta Falcons?
The Giants got a good young quarterback. I think they got the Thibodeau, and I forgot who the other pass rusher is.
Burns.
They probably a bigger market than Atlanta.
Well, they have a much larger market. I mean, no one ever disputed that, Peter.
Well, yeah, but I think that's a part of it.
Ownership.
Yes,
Thank
you.
My thing with Arthur Blank is he keeps firing his coaches, man. It's like they should have given Raheem another year. You know, because they really came and had a strong finish. And so I think it was just a premature his firing. He should have given him another year before.
Good point. That's a good point.
To keep on. Yeah, so I just think that they didn't give Raheem another year that he deserved it because they did have a strong finish. And so, I mean, even though they have a running back, Kyle Pitts he hasn't really, proved his potential, and the quarterback situation is very unstable. So, and the ownership, I don't like guys who don't stick with their guys for a while. I mean, I'm not a big fan of that. You should have given Raheem Morris another year. I mean, that's all I got to say.
All right, Abraham, appreciate the call. Use the second one, my friend. All right.
No problem.
All right, good stuff there. We'll continue to read comments here. Let's see. So we'll get back to what Banner was saying. That was a great interview with Gene. Good stuff, Pete. And of course, Bucs for life. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Fire the cannon!
Let's go out to Timmy here. 54 or 13 coming back. I don't know if Levante David is going to come back. It certainly seems like, and I'll put that question out there tomorrow. For you Bucs fans, do you think the Levante David is done? Do you think he's retired? Is he going to come back? I think 13 comes back.
13's coming back, but I thought 54 in his camp, and people that are running the same circles as we do have mentioned that he's done. He's not coming back, from what I understand. That was his camp is actually saying that.
Well, we'll see. We'll see because
13 is not retiring. He's got another solid year. He could possibly go 2 more, but next year he should have a 1,000-yard season.
He should have a 1,000-yard season, and I definitely think it's going to depend on your offensive coordinator, because you have all those weapons. You're going to have to figure out how to get the ball to those weapons consistently. What's up, Peter? Fire those cannons, Tim. I will.
Fire the cannons!
McDaniel. Timmy says McDaniel. Steve Mike says either one can take Bull's spot when he's fired mid-season. Wow. Trevor says F the Saints. That's always a good thing. I can't hate that. In fact, pretty good. Bella Bell says, hey, Peter. Good to see you guys. Good to see you. F the Falcons. All right, so F the Falcons. Trevor says F the Panthers. So again, double. We'll give you a Todd Bowles.
It's exciting!
It is exciting, especially Roger Shue there.
Acknowledge me.
Hey, gentlemen, great show as always. And I know you're going to troll us, so we're going to put this out there.
Shut up!
This guy sucks.
All right, I got out of the way. Ed, you were trying to call before, call back. That's a good question. Thank you. Mike D. Roche's. Oh, Canada. Tressman also coached in Montreal for the CFL. By the way, happy birthday to you. I didn't forget. Big time Bucs fan. Keep on kicking cancer's ass, my friend. Let's go out to Sean here. I hope not. Be patient. Zach Jarvis says it is required for the owners or general manager to have a season recap. Is it required for the owners or the general manager to have a season recap press conference? I see other teams doing it, but not us. Is it required? I don't know if it's required, but you would usually see somebody come out and say something, and they haven't. So that's the intrigue, but I still think Todd Bowles is safe. Monken worked with Evans and Godwin Jr. as an assistant with the Bucs. Very true.
Oh, yeah.
Developed both of those players. Are they going to re-sign Mike Evans? I certainly think so. John Garrett says, fire. Okay. Todd Bowles. No Christmas card for you.
It's exciting.
Yep, it's not exciting to hear that. I'm not sure Bowles is coming back. Tim says at this point, Todd is coming back. Too many openings. Agree. Bell says McDaniel looks like Mark Anthony. I agree. Maybe the Glazers are waiting for the mic drop. Tom Banner says Tressman. He says treatment. You mean Dr. Death. Ed says, are they going to re-sign Mike Evans? I think they will, Ed. Tressman, you mean Dr. Death. Again, Tom Banner, crack that smile. Harold, why no defensive coaches interviewed yet? They're taking their time. I don't know. David says, well, I hope the Glazers watch the game, seeing that it really wasn't the offense that lost all those games, but yet the head coach threw the whole offense under the bus and they got fired. Who would want to come back or come coach for a team like that? Does David have a point here at the Greek?
I would have to say so.
Okay. All right. I don't want the Falcons to get Harbaugh. Steve says Falcons is a better spot. Zach Mitchell right there, big-time Tampa Bay Lightning fan, as they won 11 in a row. You guys said we don't talk Tampa Bay Lightning on the show. We do.
No, we did.
There you go. Falcons.
Yes, we did. We talked to Lightning.
Raheem Morris is a joke of a head coach. Get a mediocre coach, and they're winning the division. Falcons, says Roger Shue. Of course, everybody being against me now. The team he was fired from is the best squad. Giants, says Tim. Thank you. Giants rules, says Mike D. Roche. Thank you, guys.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. I pray to God he doesn't go to Atlanta because the Bucs have to play them twice a year. I agree. No quarterback in Atlanta. That's a big deal. Can I call the show? I have a question. Yes, Ed, you can. Again, 727-255-0391. Open phone lines. Mike Tomlin said he wants to coach in a warm climate. 19 years as a coach for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think the biggest thing against him was he was never able to find a quarterback as good as Ben Roethlisberger. You're never ever to find a young quarterback. They tried, but they couldn't find that. And I think that's what hurt Tomlin with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then furthermore, you're not able to win a playoff game since 2016. Steelers are a proud organization. They've only, what do they have? 3 coaches in their entire history. They don't hire and fire coaches. I mean, to me, that was definitely against it. And I think that's the reason why he stepped down. And, if things don't go right here in Tampa, Tomlin coming to the Bucs, you got a veteran quarterback in a Baker Mayfield. I think Tomlin can rebuild this defense, if you will, if it needs to be rebuilt. They've got veteran players on this team. The window could be closing. It's not a long-term solution. He is 53 years old. It's not like he's 60 or 61 or Pete Carroll's age. So he'll be around for a little bit. What do you think of Mike Tomlin and the possibility of coaching the Bucs in 2026, or possibly because it's a warm climate, maybe the Miami Dolphins? What's a better situation for you in your opinion?
Well, the Miami's open now.
Right.
I mean, they're plug and play. They can go right there. Or, like I said from before, I think the Buccaneers I don't think the Bucs are done kicking the tires on a head coach. That's just my opinion. What's the better situation for them if both teams were empty? Well, for obvious reasons, I would say the Buccaneers, they have a better offensive squad.
Well, you must be reading J.P. Peterson's mind. I'm looking at his tweet right now. He says, so Todd Monken and Mike McDaniel are interviewing for head coaching opportunities, but also interviewing for the Bucs OC position. Anyone else find that interesting? Plus, I believe there are only 2 brought into the facility in person. That's right. I'm still hoping they could be movement at head coach. I know it's a long shot, but we know Glazers do things differently, which they do. They do differently. You remember with the John Gruden search, it didn't start out with John Gruden.
That's kind of interesting that JP's thinking like I do. Get your own content, JP.
Well, JP says
I'm kidding you.
JP says to do this.
F you, F you, F you, and F you. Peace out. I'm going to go have a Guinness.
And listen, if you don't tune into his show tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 12 noon, that's what you need to do there instead of being F you. Don't get F you'd by JP. Again, JP Peterson's show. He loves that sound effect. No, he doesn't. Fine, I guess you don't want me to call him. Raiders, because they have the number 1 pick, and Genty. It looks like they're going to take Mendoza. Would John Harbaugh go to the Raiders in that situation with Mendoza and Tom Brady? Is that a better situation than Atlanta or the Giants?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Because John Harbaugh wants to win now.
Falcons
really
are rebuild. I agree. They are. James, legit question. Do you think if the Bucs waited for a decision about Todd Bowles, knowing who became available, that he would still be here? I struggle with that. I believe if they waited to see who may come, that Todd would not be here and they would be trying someone else. Let's go out to the tribal troll. We'll acknowledge him.
Acknowledge me.
And then once again, we'll do this.
This guy sucks.
Roger Shue, go ahead, my friend. Welcome to the Evolution.
Thank you. Great show as always, gentlemen.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
All right, Greek, I got a question for you.
Yes.
I'm looking to bet Bears-Rams this weekend. What do I do to maximize to keep my returns high?
All right. Well, listen, we were going to get to these picks. We're going to still get to these picks, but give us a little preview here as Roger. We got plenty of time. We got time. We got some time.
I got 5 minutes.
All right. I'll tell you what, Roger, you hold off.
I'm so sorry. It's just time.
You hold off on that. We're going to go out to the Greeks picks, and then we'll get back out to, because I want to hear what you have to say about these playoff games. It's your platform right now on the sports web. The over-under takes over the sports web. So have at it. Hear the Greek. Give your picks out so some people can win some shekels, and I will cut this sound up.
We went 9 for 10 since the college playoffs.
Blazing, baby.
That was picking against the spread and in the over-unders in every single game. For this weekend's games, Buffalo at Denver. Wow. How did the week start out that Buffalo was favored over the number 1 seed? That's insulting. Absolutely insulting. I'm sorry. Play Denver on the money line. It's actually going to be a pick 'em. And I'll tell you right now, Denver will probably end up being favored before the end of the week, before the game starts. Total's 46.5 points. I don't trust it. Denver's defense is too good. If you like the over in that game, you must play Buffalo, but I'm not anticipating that Buffalo is going to put up a ton of points. The safer bet here is bet Denver. Put them on the money line. San Francisco's at Seattle. The total, don't play the over-under in that game. San Francisco's getting 7 points. Take the 7 points. It's too much for a division game. Houston at the New England Patriots. That defense is something special. If Houston can hold New England to 17 points or less, they win this game. And the Greek is telling you right now, take Houston on the money line. Don't bother taking the points. You can get 100. You can get plus 160. Rams are in Chicago. The line is now. The Rams are -4. Chicago still continues to get no respect. The total is 49. It started at 51.5, and some books had it at 52. It's down to 49. Well, there's reasons for that, ladies and gentlemen. That's because the weather is going to be 2 degrees. That's right, 2 degrees. They decided to play this game at 6 p.m. or 6:30 Eastern time when it's at its coldest in Chicago. Matthew Stafford's 1-9, Peter. When the weather's below 20 degrees. I like the Bears, not because I'm a homer. It's because they're not getting respect. The price always makes up for the pick. You're going to get a decent money line. This line might even go to 5. Miami and Indiana, the national championship. Miami's getting 9 points. Take the points and play under the 48. Those are my picks.
All right. Good stuff, Greek. We'll see how that works out. But again, going back to Miami, Indiana, can anybody stop that team, Indiana?
I think Miami is going to do a really good job trying to contain them, but I just think Indiana has too much offense. If Miami's offense and their receivers, in my opinion, after rewatching the game, if they don't have the case of the dropsies again, they'll make this game extremely competitive and they can actually win this game. But Indiana, that's just a story. They're just too good. I mean, quarterback play, defense, offense, they're on a destiny. They're going to go undefeated, but I don't like them winning by more than 9 points.
All right. I've been thinking it's going to be Chicago and San Francisco in the NFC Championship game, and now Chicago would have the home field advantage because we saw that game just a couple of weeks ago, how exciting it was in San Francisco. Now you get the opportunity to have the home field advantage in Chicago. How do you feel about that possibility?
Well, I mean, you want Chicago to have a chance on this. They have to be able to stay at home. You know, they travel very well. They have an extraordinary record at home. And I'll be honest with you, anybody that has to play in those elements, it's just going to be horrible. Again, I mean, the Rams, Matthew Stafford has played in a lot of cold weather games. Okay. And as a matter of fact, Matthew Stafford and the Rams went to the Philadelphia Eagles last year and they were talking about it and they were just a play away from going, if you remember correctly.
Yes.
But it was 35. It wasn't 3.
Right.
Okay. There was snow on the ground in Philadelphia.
There's something wrong with this Rams team too. There's something wrong. You can't put your finger on it.
You know what it is? You want me to tell you what it is? It's not the play calling. It's not Matthew Stafford, although he does take a lot of chances. It's definitely not the receivers. The receivers out there play like quarterbacks. I was watching them, Peter, when I'm watching some of the tape work on this Rams team, if the route's not open, these receivers are running to the next hole. And Stafford is literally just buying enough time. If his first and second read, okay, they're not there, they are getting open if they're just giving him enough time. But you could say that about the vast majority of the quarterbacks. The problem is this defense is not playing like it did in the beginning part of the year. And that secondary is one of the worst of football. So let me take my shirt off so people don't think I'm just being a homer. I don't pick against, and nor do I usually play the Chicago Bears. The reason why I like the Bears are 2 reasons. They have too many receivers and way too many weapons for the Rams defense. Also, it's going to be extremely cold. I don't know if you knew this or not, but the Bears are practicing in this weather. You ready, Peter? Without heaters. They want this team to be completely prepared for it. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, because let me tell you something. In that weather, it's horrible.
Right.
And being 1-9, that's not a fluke. Okay. And let's add the other one. His index finger on his throwing hand is sprained. And I don't know if you knew this or not, but when it gets below 40 degrees and someone touches your hand, it hurts. Can you imagine having a sprain and hitting someone's helmet?
No, I cannot. And then San Francisco versus Seattle. You think Seattle being at home, of course, that's a home field advantage, but there's something about this San Francisco team. Even though you lose Greg Kittle to a traumatic injury and an ACL.
I don't personally think that the 49ers are going to handle business over at Seattle. I do think that they cover. I think Seattle's on a mission. I think they're the best team in the NFC, in my opinion. But anything can happen. I mean, let's just be frank. If San Francisco was healthy and they had everybody on defense with George Kittle and that head coach, it's not even close. The 49ers are the best team, not in the NFC. They're the best team in football. Okay, that's the way I see it. And what I watched out of that offense, let me tell you something. The head coach of the 49ers is an absolute mastermind. And I love the defensive coordinator and Robert Saleh. He's got these boys just playing out of their tree. Oh, and the last point I wanted to bring up on why I like the Bears over the Rams is because it reminds me something that the Bucs did. It was against the Atlanta Falcons before they went on that run, and it was in the second half. Do you recall this, Peter? When that light bulb switched on, and all of a sudden
they were down 17-0 in at halftime, and they come back and win 31-17, I believe.
And the defense just that light bulb just switched on. Well, that's what I watched in the second half. The first half, Chicago couldn't stop them for nothing. Their defense. And all of a sudden, they made some adjustments. That's right, adjustments. That's what they did up there.
Yes.
And they forced 5 consecutive punts. That's pretty impressive. So if you can get a semblance of that defense with Chicago's offense, the way they're going to make it, I can't. I just can't bet against them. I just can't, and I still don't understand why this line went from 1 to 3 to 4. It's going to be 4.5 and 5. I just like Chicago, and I like the over.
And then on the other side, I like Buffalo and Houston for a rematch. I look for storylines sometimes, maybe too much, but I just think
I know one thing: Buffalo and Allen, they're not wanting that rematch. Oh my God. That was I haven't seen an ass whooping like that.
True.
It was even worse what they did to Allen than what the Bucs did to the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. It was even worse than that. That defense in Houston, that defense right now, if they make the Super Bowl, they have to be talked about with the 0-2 Bucs, the Baltimore Ravens, and the Chicago Bears. That's how special that defense is.
Hunter and Anderson, just unbelievable. That's what happens when you got an edge rush. I mean, that's what they can do for your defense.
With a 4-man rush.
Yes.
If you force them to the 5th, you have a chance.
Right.
But if you're going to let them get there with a 4-man rush, you're not scoring them.
Maybe we're discounting Denver. I just think Buffalo was on a mission themselves with Josh Allen being the only quarterback.
Lowest completion ratio in the National Football League this year is Bo Nix. Okay. And you know who the second lowest is?
Who's that?
Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams. Yeah.
Okay. I understand that, I mean, it doesn't really mean that much, but I think Caleb is a much more dynamic person. And Buffalo going over to Denver, I think Bo Nix, you're going to see a lot more offense than you have in previous weeks because Buffalo's defense, they're not that much in a bag of chips. They really aren't. They're not that special.
No.
And but I'll tell you what, Denver's defense can get after it. They're not as good as Houston, and they're going to get to Allen. But if I was the Denver Broncos, I'd find it humiliating and very insulting that I'm an underdog at home. Are you kidding me?
It happens. It happens. I mean, again, that's Vegas for you, my friend. Harry the Greek, professional handicapper extraordinaire. Final thoughts here on the Evolution.
Final thoughts on the Evolution, man. Just have a really good time. Make sure you stay warm. It's going to be really cold out there, especially my friends up there and up north. You guys are in from some frigid weather, but from what I understand, you need to pray for us. It's going to be in the 40s down here tomorrow morning.
40s. Shut up.
Yeah.
All right. So
in the 40s. As I always say, keep your bets low and your returns high. Thanks for tuning in, and let's go ahead and make a few shekels this week.
There you go, my friend. Harry the Greek, professional handicapper extraordinaire. We appreciate your time as always. All right.
Take care. Bye-bye.
All right. There he goes. Open phone lines if you want to talk anything about what he said when it comes to picks for your NFL playoff picks. Playoffs. Yes, playoffs are going on, and the Bucs are not in them. Instead, they are interviewing offensive coordinator candidates. Who would you like to see, guys? Would you like to see Todd Monken, who was interviewed today, or McDaniel, or I'll just throw it out there, somebody else? And we threw this out there, John Harbaugh. There's been a big time concern. Does he go to the Atlanta Falcons or the New York Giants? What's more of a stable organization? Open phone line, 727-255-0391 and 727-255-0391. So we'll go out to these comments. Remember, like and subscribe to the Sports Web. Friend me on Facebook at Peter H. Blake. Again, Facebook stars are open. If you like the content, give to the content. And, of course, YouTube Super Chats. So all that great stuff there. To answer your question, I do think there's a lot of people thinking that. But there's a timeline at this point, talking about Tomlin. His rights are still owned by the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? So they're going to have to give up some draft capital. I don't know if it's going to happen this year, possibly next year after Tomlin goes in the TV. But once again, the Glazers have not come out. But I still say that Todd Bowles is safe. He's going to be the coach of this team. Who knows? Maybe they change their mind. What's good, Sports Web Nation? Good to see you again, Peter and Harry. Go Bucs. Go Bucs.
Wait up, little boy. Wait up.
Go Bucs.
It's exciting.
It is exciting, Todd. Go Bucs.
Fire the cannons.
Go Bucs.
How about them Bucs, baby?
Go Bucs. All right. Thank you very much for that, King Cook 1485. I love the fact that YouTube, a lot of people starting to like and subscribe. It's getting bigger and bigger here, more views. I love that. Great stuff. Fire Todd Bowles, hire Steelers ex-coach as Van House Life. Have we traded for Mad Max yet? Laugh out loud. No, we have not. The New York Giants have signed Nicholas Madero. Okay, Van House Life once again offering absolutely nothing. Thank you for that.
That's great enough to suck right there.
And also from the media icon.
Go away. Go away. I will hold the door.
Yeah, exactly. Giants fans, don't worry about a thing. Everything is going to be all right. Let's go on to Rob DePrez Thompson. Thanks a lot for tuning in. The other two you're talking about struggled with more talent. Good stuff there. I don't know what StreamYard was doing. I guess they got tired of having the broadcast on there. Bella says, Harry, I'm with you on this one. You could see a rematch of the Bears and the Patriots. It's 40 years later. Isn't that the ultimate rematch right there? Raiders bringing Lamar Jackson. Okay, we'll see. Van House Life bring in Joe Biden for offensive coordinator. Here's what I have to say about that. Dart has limited life expectancy the way he runs. I freaking love the guy, but these players out here are physical freaks. Again, I agree with you on that. Van House Life. Are the Rays going back at the Trop this season? Yes, they are. Steve Mike says the Falcons don't use Kyle Pitts correctly unless, again, they play the Bucs. Then he has a big game. The Rays are bums. Van House Life. Last year, the Rays were homeless. Van House Life. Can we get John Gruden as OC? No. People pay you. Yes, they do. In fact, I'm glad you mentioned that because this broadcast is brought to you by Tampa Joe's 9316 Anderson Road for all your Bucs away watch parties. When it comes to a Tampa Bay Buccaneer watch party, when they play away games, that is the place to be. Great food, great atmosphere. And, of course, home of the evolution of sports talk television. And Kosamides, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Always welcome at Tampa Joe's. And then, of course, we'll get back to this in a moment. Let's go out to this sponsor. Of course, it's all about Up the Block Barbershop. Up the Block Barbershop. You don't have to go far. It's Up the Block Barbershop, 4946 Moog Road in Holiday, Florida. Whether it's a haircut, a beard trim, a fade, they got you covered. Go see my favorite barber, Ricky, and all the great barbers there at Up the Block Barbershop. Tell them the Rolex reporter, Peter Blake, sent you again. It's Up the Block Barbershop, 4946 Moog Road. Let's go out to the phone lines. Broadway, you're on the evolution of sports talk television live here at Raymond James Stadium after your Bucs fall to 6-3. Go. There you go. So Up the Block Barbershop. You don't have to go far. 4946 Moog Road in Holiday, Florida. Go see my favorite barber, Ricky. They'll take care of you along with all the fine barbers they got there. PJ, Lily, Braxton. They just do a phenomenal job. Again, tell them the Rolex reporter, Peter Blake, sent you. Go Gators. Van House Live. Can we root for the Bills this playoffs? You can if you want to. Scott says, love you, Peter, but I'm with Harry on this. All right, Van House Live. The Bears-Bills Super Bowl is going to be legit. Bella Bell says McDaniel is the OC whisperer like that. Christopher Cole says neither of them. I like Shillhouse or Zach Robinson. That's been the popular pick for a lot of the Bucs Nation out there. But the question of the night here, Christopher Cole, I know you're trying to be different. Monken or McDaniel? Open phone line, 727-255-0391 at 727-255-0391 on a happy hump day edition of this show. Would you trade Baker for Josh Allen? I would not trade Baker for Josh Allen. I love Baker Mayfield on this team. I think he represents this locker room as a direct reflection of this locker room.
Shake and bake.
All right. Let's see. Van House says, duh, laugh out loud. King. Just my thought process. I love Josh Allen. He's tremendous, but Baker Mayfield on this team. Get him on offensive coordinator, and I think he definitely can turn into an MVP once again. Got to keep him healthy. I think the Pats don't make it. It'll be between the Bills and the Broncos against the Rams in the Super Bowl. Let's hire McDaniel and bring in a nice quarterback, Deshaun Howard. I think they're going to go with Baker Mayfield. That's why McDaniel would come here. Let's go out to Brightside Broadway out of North Carolina. Welcome, Brightside, to the Evolution here on a Happy Hump Day edition on the Wednesday night. What's going on? What's on your mind tonight, boss?
Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to go with the Dolphins offensive coordinator.
McDaniel?
Yeah, McDaniel.
Okay.
Because he's younger and he's got a running offense on his forte.
Okay.
And if we run the ball, we open it up for pass. We've got to do both to be a good offense next year.
Well, yeah, you got to do both. You got to definitely have a balanced offense. You got to have a lot better offense than what you had. You absolutely agree with that. I completely agree with that. And I think McDaniel can give them that juice, that energy. He'll be able to find a way to get the ball to these weapons that you had a difficult time of doing, right? And your offense struggled. And again, was it the biggest problem on this team? I think it was one of the problems that definitely contributed to a fact of why the Bucs went down the stretch 2-7 after the bye week. Absolutely. I think it was the offense. I think it was Baker Mayfield, whether he was hurt or not. You got to pick up this defense. You knew the defense was the weak spot, but the offense didn't do their share. And I think that's the reason why you got Josh Broussard and he's out of here. And you're trying to find a new offensive coordinator. You got to get better. Got to get better production with all these weapons at this point. You got to at least score 30 to 35 points to win these games, in my opinion.
Exactly. And we have to get a good special teams coach as well.
They've been interviewing candidates today. Interviewed a coach from the Dolphins, and they also interviewed Jet Modkins from the Detroit Lions here a couple days ago. So it looks like they're going to get that situation taken care of very soon. What else,
Exactly. I just want to get your opinion on who you think is going to be the best coordinator.
Well, I like McDaniel. I think McDaniel's a good choice. I like Monken too. I think they both have their pros and their cons, but I like to see McDaniel in this building. I would. Good stuff, Brightside. Use the second call if you want to, my friend. All right?
Thank you, Peter. Love y'all.
Love you too, brother. All right, let's go out to this guy. He came back on here after being the first caller. I don't know where he's at. He's a man around town. Let's go out to my new co-host here as we continue to read comments and take phone calls. And we get into Rashad White and what he had to say. Not some glowing reviews for Todd Bowles and this coaching staff. Let's go out to this guy, though. Best of the Bay, Tampa Bay, Ray Kennedy.
Mr.
All right, Tampa Bay, Ray Kennedy out and about. Where are you out and about tonight, Mr. Tampa Bay, Ray Kennedy? Welcome to the Evolution here on a Happy Hump Day edition, my friend.
Thank you, sir. And how's my sound levels? Okay.
Sounds good, man. Sounds really good.
Well, initially I went to the Seminole City Center to do my usual setup in front of the Irish 31, which if you're anywhere in Seminole after 7 p.m. for some reason, what should be one of the most bangingest bars in Seminole is usually closed and barren. But we all kinds of police over there, a lot of sheriffs. Ruth and I were walking. I think maybe there was some blood on the sidewalk. So I'm not reporting anything. I have no facts. I definitely have no seconds. But, I called earlier, and, we were talking about, Mike McDaniel. Well, no, go ahead. Bring me back in, because, I got cut off from you guys because you and Harry started having a pretty good argument about where Jeff Harbaugh's going to go.
Well, Jeff Harbaugh, and maybe he's a third brother they don't know, but it's John Harbaugh, of course, the brother Jim Harbaugh, who coaches for the Chargers at this point, which they just fired their offensive coordinator in Greg Roman. But the conversation was, what's a more stable organization? Is it the New York Giants, which is what I say, because you got a quarterback there. You got some great weapons in Scatabo at running back and Neighbors at wide receiver, some edge rushers, or is it the Atlanta Falcons, Arthur Blank and his plywood organization the last 5 to 10 years? That's my opinion.
No, and I wanted, while you two went off on a thing, and believe me, it was great. I was watching, I was loving it. Ruth and I were both celebrating. But the fact of the matter is, we know he was in town. Harbaugh was in town. Had dinner with Mara the night before last, and then meets with everyone over there today. And and whether but why would he want to be there with Jackson Dart? Dart maybe he is the guy. Looks like he might be the guy, but he definitely hasn't done enough to show that he is the guy. Or in Atlanta, like Harry was talking. You were talking about. You said Atlanta. No, I'm not sure which one. But the thing is, I was sitting there thinking, both of them are great landing destinations, and why won't he use each other to leverage as far as where he wants to go, because I don't think, as far as Harbaugh goes, after the credit he's gotten, what he's done in this league, I think he's got a little bit of, have a little fun with it. So it comes down to he asks the wife, where do you want to go? And then go with that.
Yeah, no, it absolutely does. All right, we'll continue to read comments. We'll take phone calls also. If you want to talk to Best of the Bay, Tampa Bay, Ray Kennedy, 727-255-0391 and 727-255-0391 on a happy edition. Again, Facebook stars are open. Give to the content if you love the content. And, of course, YouTube super chats. All right, so I think the Pats don't make it. It'll be between the Bills and the Broncos against the Rams in the Super Bowl. Again, with Mike McDaniel bringing a nice quarterback. McVay on his stuff right now. He's dialing everything up. It's working for several weeks now. Just saying he's one of the best coaches in the NFL, period. I agree with that. But as we all know, anything can happen. King, I think no matter what happens in 26, we have Tomlin afterwards, period. What did you think of this Mike Tomlin situation? What do you think his legacy is? Because it's not a well-kept secret that the Glazers felt like they missed out on a Mike Tomlin. He got out of that building. Of course, 19 years later, he's before that, he's the defensive coordinator for the Minnesota Vikings, very successful there. And then he's the head coach for the Pittsburgh Steelers for 19 years. And, for me, a consistent guy, never had a losing season, but not able to win a playoff game since 2016. And then on top of that, not able to develop a young quarterback. So Tomlin, after this year, if it doesn't work out between Bulls and Light, what do you say about that?
Well, I mean, first of all, you blame Mike Tomlin for the fact he had Patrick Mahomes, who's the second coming since who? Tom Brady, and then dealing with Allen in Buffalo, and the fact that the AFC. Basically, I'm looking back on it now. We get enamored with the Philadelphia Eagles being defending champions, or with the Niners to have that very strong team and the type of thing that Kyle Shanahan does out there. But really, over the last 5 to 8 years, it seems like the AFC, and that's why we're so not surprised, but we're so impressed. The world is with Tom Brady pulling off 55 against that, and then that Todd Bowles defense, the way they blew them up. So, I mean, the AFC's been pretty kick-ass, and yeah, we missed it, and go ahead and give the Glazers credit, because we didn't just. It wasn't like they just went and just said, okay, spin the wheel and figure out the next dog up. They knew what they had in Raheem Morris. I remember when Raheem Morris was still a defensive back, or even a defensive back specialist on this team under Mike Tomlin, who was I think it was Herm Edwards, your defensive backs coach. But I mean, we knew he was a dog, and he's still fighting for it. And that's why, even to this day, I hated him when he was a coach of the Falcons in our own division. But I'm still a Raheem Morris guy, and I wouldn't have been surprised. I wouldn't have been brokenhearted if Jason Light had decided he wanted to go another way. I would not have been brokenhearted if Raheem Morris didn't show up the day after he got fired in Atlanta, just like Atlanta took in the last week of that season when they took Richard McKay and sent him over to Arthur Blank's suite. He became the general manager of the Falcons, so we owed them anyway.
All right, good stuff there. Let's continue to read. I don't think Mike's body will allow him another 1,000-yard season, just being honest. Steve Mike says Raheem is not a good head coach. Phil with the Bucs now Atlanta. Mike D. Roche's. I heard some comment earlier this week. Does Derek Brooks have cancer? Not heard that. 3 degrees is crazy. Josh Allen would get it down the road. You all seen last week in the locker room, wasn't even celebrating that win against the Jags. So we will see anything goes at this point. Nair, no Tomlin, no Harbaugh. Bucs for life, go Bucs. Absolutely go Bucs.
Fire the cannon!
King Cook here says Yaya and Rashad both got to go. Can't trust them. I trust Yaya. I think Yaya is just pointing it out. Rashad.
Hey, Pete.
Yes.
Hey, Peter. Am I wrong? Didn't Kevin Stefanski get fired in Cleveland also, right?
Yes.
So you're talking about the AFC North, that literally 3 coaching jobs open. That's one of them swing states. And we talk about the fact that there's 9 coaches, there's 9 openings in the NFL, and maybe most of them deserved. I don't know how many of them are actually deserved, but it just remind everybody that as much as we want to get a sizzle and reel every year, and the next TikTok video and go viral, sometimes, and I'm not defending Bulls here, I'm just saying in general for the future, remember, sometimes stick with someone who they may not be succeeding right off the bat, or may not be exactly doing what we thought they should, but maybe you should stick with them, because we see so many people and so many teams that are swinging every year and they're missing. So thanks, brother.
Big time. Yeah, absolutely. They got us out here looking weak. Bella Bell says, yeah, they ain't loyal. King snitched like behavior. King Cook says, Bella, Facts. I guess they got a friendship. Looks like something going on there between the King and Bell. Oh, love is in the air. By the way, Valentine's Day is a month and a half away. Can honestly say I have nobody for Valentine's Day once again. Yeah.
That's good enough to Pete, do you know how many times I broke up with a girl the week before Valentine's? I didn't know it was obvious.
There you go.
Well, I'm kidding.
That's okay. It's all right. Hey, TJ has this to say.
Go away. Go away. I will hold the door.
All right. Skip Baker, OC and O-line. He'll be a problem. Chris Cole says Monken because he's experienced in all aspects of the game. King Cook, we need guys who are going to be able to filter out these cancers, check those attitudes at the door. And I think Yaya was mentioning the coaching staff, the walkthroughs, who's being a leader. Hey, Ruth, how you doing? Hey, Ruth.
Pizza time.
Pizza time. Rashad had some comments on the Loose Cannons podcast, which we'll get to in just a moment. I know what he's referring to. Scott Broadway says, hey, Ray. Steeler fans get what they asked for. You've been spoiled for 19 years. Here comes the real hardships. King Cook, you never go to the media and air out house issues. He knows better. Okay, fair enough. Peter, relax. Bell and I just support our team. Go Bucs. Hey, I love it. I love the fact you guys support the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tremendous. I was just kidding. I throw jokes out there. I just troll people. Like everybody was losing their minds when I put that post up there and I had this stupid face on. I don't know what kind of face it was, but it was just me saying, you know what? I'm petty to 100 that Liam Cohen and Dave Canales, especially Cohen, the snake from Jacksonville, has been eliminated in the first round. Everybody, oh, this is stupid and this is blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh my gosh. All right.
But that's our angle because I'm 100% behind you. It's not that I wasn't rooting for Trevor Lawrence, or I wanted to see what Liam could do, even though if I saw one more clip of him going, that guy's just too weird. And Dave Canales, we like him, but little Bryce, and I want Carolina to be in a conflict as to whether they're going to exercise the 5th-year option on Bryce's rookie contract, and I want Carolina to not know if he's the guy or wonder if he's still the guy, because as a divisional opponent, anything that makes our divisional opponent spend money, maybe they're not sure or have to make decisions they're not ready to make, gives us that advantage. So I agree with you, though. It's the long play, and that's what you were saying there with both of them at the playoffs now. Remember, it's not just everything every year. It's a long play.
All right, I got to get to these comments here because Love Cook support group, plus my man already thinks I'm cheating on him with my loves of the pods. Laugh out loud. Thank you. We appreciate you supporting the pods here. Fire the Cannons and the Glazers. Well, fire the Cannons or fire the Cannons.
Fire the Cannons!
Come on, we're not going to fire the Glazers. Get out of here. Bella Fax, my lady, the same. Well, listening to you, both of you guys have somebody. The hell with both of you. I'm just joking. I'm like, oh, wow, I love the Buccaneers, and that's cheating. I guess I am. Abraham says, hey, gentlemen, great show. Thank you, Abraham. Appreciate you as always.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's get out to Rashad White here as Ruth has made an appearance. This is what he had to say on the Loose Cannons podcast. Sammer, what's his? I'm trying to think of the
Ali.
Guy. Stank.
Oh,
bastard.
No, he's you know who I know him as? Matt Gay stank, because after the Bucs cut Gay, after he misses that, first of all, the field goal against the Niners in the opening game that year, they were still the ones that had their nose straight up his ass. And I'll give you my take on that Rashad White take after you play the clip.
All right. Well, I'm not going to play the clip. I'm just going to read it. He says about Todd Bowles, I do think he should let everyone else call defense. He's just been a head coach. I do feel like probably he's better off by doing that so he can focus really hard on just the head coach job. Just trust that he's got the defensive staff. He says that. He also says he kills the fans, but we'll go back to the offensive coordinator. This was what he also had to say. He said, I was talking to Bucky Irving about it. I was telling him about, he was asking me, and I was like, when I played with Dave Canales 2 years ago, sometimes he would just start the game off with a wide pass, like a screen type pass, and he would just get you the ball and make some shakes sometimes, or sometimes you probably just don't, but just get it a little bit easy. You know how to say just a pitch and a catch for Baker Mayfield too. Like not even just for running backs, but just for Bake. Like sometimes it's just getting some easy, you know what I'm saying, completions and stuff like that. That's what he was saying about the offensive coordinator there. And then he said about the fans, which I have gone on record to say that I'm disappointed, highly disappointed, and sick of hearing about fans, how they're going to cancel their seats and how they're not going to show up. And my response is, at this point, you've already done that because opposing fans have been able to take those seats, and you always have to deal with that. So there's nothing that's going to change at this point. I think it's ridiculous, and I got a reel that I'm going to put out, and it's going to rub people the wrong way, but you know what?
You always do.
That's what I do. He says about the fans, man, please stop letting other teams come in their home stadiums regardless. If I'm not there or not, take over that stadium like that, bro. That's just horrible. It's like when you all talk on Twitter and all that, we just laugh because we can't even respect some of y'all because we don't even feel like y'all are real Bucs fans because y'all let the other team come in, and no matter who it is. Y'all be popping all that. Y'all want these culture changes, want all that, but you're not even there to really see what's to it, what's to that. A lot of these fans too. Some of y'all, I don't even watch the game. Y'all just be talking more on the stats. That was Rachaad White. Your thoughts? You just absolutely killed the fans. You killed the word y'all, and he killed the coach and the offensive coordinator at this point. I mean, most likely he's not going to be back, although he said Mike McDaniel would be his choice. So what do we think about White's comments in general here, Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy?
No, I know Rachaad played college out in Arizona, and he came to Florida. He doesn't realize that literally if it wasn't for the fact that tourism's the number one reason why any of us even exist here. If not, it'd still be palm frond thickets, palmettos, and a bunch of cockroaches. And when I heard that, and I picked on Stink and Ollie, but I was going to ask you before I said that earlier because I'm like, are they a friend of the show? Or have they ever been on the Sports Web? I think maybe you've talked with one or two of them, but I was kidding. But the fact of the matter is they always play whatever will run. And Rachaad said something about the fans and putting other teams. And I commented immediately on a Facebook post with someone who posted that clip from the show. And I said, it's a shame that we have to pay $500 a seat, $1,000 for two season tickets for those two preseason games, or pray to God one of them's on the road. We only have 3, or maybe someday the NFL will play 32 games. We won't have any preseason, but we're paying full price and still have to make a mortgage payment, a car payment. And we're not making the whatever $1 million you are, Rachaad. But you know what? I got a suggestion. The teams now, they used to make their money just off television, and then it always seems like the fan money was extra, and the money made for beer and food was a great thing. Now they're making money from legalized gambling and FanDuel and MGM and all, still making that revenue from television. Still making that revenue from television. But Rachaad, I get what you said, but re-sign with the team for less money and show us that just like you're asking the fans to not make a nut to go ahead and take one Eagles game and pay for their season tickets so they can still afford to take the kids to or put some money in a college fund so that they can do that. Go ahead and take a bite, stay with the team, show that you're standing behind your words. And that's why when Samar Ali and whatever, when they ran out as their sizzle clip, I'm like, of course it's a thing and people are going to like or dislike it. But at the end of the day, it's economics. And when you're making millions of dollars instead of maybe $30,000 or $50,000, it's a different angle. Just remember, guys, it's always about perspective. And that's what kind of pissed me off.
It is, and it's about perspective. And I've always said this, if you're a real sports town, which I think Tampa is, that's why we do the Sports Web in the first place, and why I've always tried to focus on doing that for the Tampa Bay sports fan, is because I want them to be like Pittsburgh. I want them to be like Philadelphia, where you don't allow any of this nonsense, any of your opposing fans to take over, because it doesn't happen in Pittsburgh. It doesn't happen in Philly. It doesn't happen in Cleveland. Even though Cleveland is bad, those fans love football there. They love their sports teams, and they don't let the opposing fans take it over.
I like that. I like that passion. But I would pose that for thousands and thousands of people out there that agree with that, because again, remember, if it wasn't for the fact that tourism's the reason why we're all here, we'd all still live up north or in other countries. But just if we all feel that way, and I agree with that, I want to see nothing but 68, 65, 75 expanded for Super Bowls, 1,000 Bucs fans there. Let's go ahead and say, well, let's build an app, give us a portal that says we'll not sell it out, but make sure there's that market so the people, again, that are paying those full price tickets for preseason tickets, making that nut, want to be supporting this team, but also knowing they have to do a lot of other stuff with that dollar, which is a lot harder to make these days. Then we're doing that. But don't blame people for that, because at the end of the day, You got to feed the family with roof over the head. The other 15 games a year or 9 home games, and I'm at the What the Buck tailgate for a cause. I'm still supporting this team, but I'm trying to make it easier to buy those season tickets year in, year in, so I can continue to do that.
But the point is also, why you have so many opposing fans. We're on with Tampa Bay, Ray Kennedy, Best of the Bay. I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter, giving you something to think about. What time is it? It's my time, and of course, for you guys, it is your time. These Bucs fans, they will sell their tickets to the opposing fans, and what the Tampa Bay Buccaneer organization should do is crack down on that, like the Seattle Seahawks, where if you are a season ticket holder and you sell your fans, and I get it, you're going to double or triple your value, but you should never be able to have season tickets again, ever. You should be done. I mean,
sounds like an argument against capitalism. Sounds like an argument against capitalism. Let's just take away the right to buy whatever, supply and demand. Make it, because if it's a great game, if the Eagles fans are ready to pay $10,000, but Bucs fans want to be there too, I'm not saying they don't know who they're selling them to. They may assume that the best big dollars, they're selling on an app. They're punching it through the resale ticket on their phone, which I'm talking to you right now, and they're selling it because they want to get that money.
But that's not the point, though.
Pete, how much did you and I pay for our season tickets last year?
We didn't pay any money.
But we support this team. No, my point is, though, because a lot of people are still having to come up with money they don't have to support this team. And it's like, why are we going to put a scarlet letter on them? Because they try to figure out a way to economically make it feasible.
But they're doing it. They're doing it in spite. If you want to do it, sell it to a Bucs fan. Don't do it to an opposing.
Okay, so make sure those Bucs fans. So give me that app that says it's all BFO, Bucs fans only. But make sure they can still get that money that they need to go ahead and make that so they can pay for those season tickets and still get Johnny's
Bucs fans are trying to sell it for triple value. They're not trying
capitalism, free market. No, that's America.
No, that's not what it's about. It's about having home field advantage in NFL stadium.
That's important too.
It's very important, and that's sometimes what the Bucs don't have. Let's go out to the bodyguard of the Berg, Mr. Ralph Williams. Your thoughts? Mike Tomlin fired in Pittsburgh. Go ahead, my friend.
Well, he wasn't fired. He stepped down.
Stepped down. Yes, stepped down.
Key information on this, but
what's the key information here?
Well, the future of the fact is that there was just too many disappointments. The yelling and screaming of the fire Tomlin chants. And some of the media stuff, it just kind of got to him a little bit, and he wants to spend more time with his family, so he stepped down. And
then Ralph, I mean, you make a good point there, because I heard Mr. Rooney when he made that presser today, and it definitely sounded like the team was not even going there. Of course, though, every year the media narrative is, even though he's always getting them to the show, he doesn't get them to dance, but Mr. Rooney did not want him to go. So you pointed out that I think at this point, isn't it like a point in time maybe that Mike Tomlin is just I want to enjoy life, just like Todd Bowles may want to start thinking about that forever home in North Carolina and enjoying that life too.
Yeah, exactly. And, 19 years and then 7 years of disappointment of not making the playoffs. But one thing that his legacy will be is that he has won every season. He's never had a losing record. That will be his legacy.
Correct.
Going into the Hall of Fame. Other than that, it's time to move on. It's time for a new voice. And we're going to see where the Steelers go here. I have 2 candidates that I want to throw out to you. Clint Kubiak, the OC at Seattle, and Brian Flores from Minnesota.
Well, Brian Flores is definitely a great candidate there, defensive-minded coach. I think, again, the way the NFL is going right now, he's only offensive mind.
What's up, brother?
I could see Kubiak anything else at this point. Ralph, what else, my friend?
Not much else. I was just surprised. I'm going to tell you, I almost fell out of my wheelchair when I found out. I had to make several phone calls, and this is my 7th show that I've been on, including my own. I talked about Mike Tomlin here.
Hey, Ralph, can I ask you? Chuck Noll, I mean, all the coaches in Steelers history, man, especially with Brian Flores, the way he was disrespected, the way it went down in Miami with the NFL, the way all that went down. I mean, and we know that bridge has already been repaired because he's already been the best defensive coordinator there in Minnesota, right? The last couple of years.
Yeah.
That's got to be the story we'd like to see there.
Yeah, he was an assistant, Ray, with the Steelers for one season. He was assistant linebackers coach and co-defensive coordinator under that bum, Terrell Austin. So.
All right, good stuff, Ralph. Appreciate it as always, man. Good to hear from you. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, Peter, I had to call in to give you an update on Mike Tomlin or whatever. I know your Tampa folks want to hear about it. So,
yep. Well, you definitely want to hear about it because he may be an interesting coaching
and Mike
candidate.
McDaniel interviewing Donner, man, that's a good hire if you can get him.
I agree, Ralph. All right, good stuff, my friend.
All right, have a great one.
All right, you too. All right, Ray, I'm going to wrap this up. Go ahead and give me some
Ralph Williams. Ralph's calling and giving us updates. That's a big bet. Appreciate that. No, I'm going to wrap it up too, brother. It's Wednesday night. You're locking it down. The Lightning 11 and they win it with the shootout, which is the most phenomenal. I mean, I was thinking last night. There's been I didn't even realize. You do your Mount Rushmore. I didn't even do that, but you're like some of the great things that have happened. Just let's say since COVID, because it's been pretty good since COVID. Tampa Bay, but winning it the way they did with the shootout, and then having Vasilevsky be the rolling it out. Fantastic. Let's just keep that going. And we got the Stadium Series coming up. And don't forget, guys, after the Stadium Series on February 1st, they've got the Sabres and then the Panthers. And then they have a 2-week break for the Olympics, which 11 of the Lightning players are playing in their various countries. So enjoy them while you got them now. And appreciate the show tonight, you and Harry. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
All right, good stuff. Best of the Bay, Tampa Bay, Ray Kennedy. We'll see you soon here on The Evolution, my friend. All right?
Peace, brother.
All right, good stuff there on a Wednesday night. All right, let's go out to some of these comments, and then we will wrap it up for the night. I'm always going to reply for my Bucs, period. Bulls isn't the worst era I've seen. Exactly. But why doesn't? Let's go out to Sun Devil Dave. All right, Sun Devil. Well, first and foremost, McDaniel or Monken for the Bucs OC job. And then what's more of a stable organization for John Harbaugh to go to? Me and Harry were debating this tonight. Is it the New York Giants or the Atlanta Falcons? Go.
Wow. I mean, I like McDaniel. Number one, great job again, Peter.
Thank you.
Again, I love the show. Everything's great. I just got on a little late. I would think number one, McDaniel for OC. I want to throw out a name, and I hope you don't laugh about this. Do you think though that Pete Carroll would come back? It would be have to do maybe bring him here for DC, or do you think that would be just a joke? What do you mean, PDC coming here? Tampa?
Nah, I don't see that. I don't see
you
it.
Just lost touch, or you just don't. No.
Yeah, I think he's lost touch a little bit. I think he's a little bit older. He still has the energy. It just didn't work out with the Raiders. It was a disaster in the first place, but he's up there in age, and I just don't see Todd Bowles relinquishing that control to not call the defense. Honestly, I know Bucs fans are up in arms about it. I just don't see it happening.
And I think that Harbaugh would probably want. I just think he wants a giant market. I think there's just more prestige, more exposure. It's a huge market.
You got your boy there, Cam Scatterbo. Come on, Scatterbo.
Cam's doing a bunch of WWE stuff. It's crazy.
I love it.
He's on WWE.
You got him. You got Jackson Dart. You got Malik Neighbors. You got Burns. You got Thibodeau. I mean, they got some talent there, man.
I got Cam. Yeah, I think Harbaugh will go to the Giants. Hopefully, we get Daniels and OC. We'll look at DC. Kind of bummed out. I just heard that in other news, another ASU alum is going to go to LSU. There's a rumor that Sam Levitt's going to go follow Lane Kiffin over there.
Wow.
Be the quarterback at LSU. So you have another ASU alum like Jaden Daniels won a Heisman. So that's kind of interesting.
There you go.
As far as White, I look at his numbers, and I know he said a lot of negative things about the fans, and so be it. I mean, if he goes, he goes. But then what do you do? I mean, they're talking about maybe bringing in Hall, Williams, Etney, DC, like any of those guys coming in to help out Irving, or what's going to happen?
I think they go with Sean Tucker, even though, Tucker is a restricted free agent. I think that's the sign. This organization, once again, is intrigued by him. They want to see what he's got. He's got lots of potential, and I think they let White go. And I think White sees the writing on the wall. Let's just point it out there, put it out there. That he's not most likely going to come back to this Bucs team, and they're going to go with Tucker, and they're going to go with Bucky Irving. It seems like sour grapes, but you appreciate somebody telling the truth. They did a good job there on Loose Cannon's podcast. They know how to ask questions, and they got that opportunity to talk to him, and he let him. He answered all those questions, man, to some very honest, some very disappointed Bucs fans, and I think the organization may be a little bit disappointed, and I think it plays a part in the fact that he knows he's not going to come back.
As much as I love the Glazers and as much as I love our GM, I'm going to be realistic. if you look at the track record of the last 5 to 7 years, I mean, I know other than the Brady acquisition, but these guys aren't going to go out and get Max Crosby. I don't see him spending millions of dollars and giving up 5 draft picks to get some big edge.
I think that would be a mistake. I think you're desperate. I think you're desperate now.
So,
I think you got to.
No, I don't think they're going to do it. I think what they're going to have to do is find an OC and a DC that's going to be able to work and be consistent and try to work with draft picks, mid-level free agents, and they're going to try to, basically make, chicken salad out of chicken, and make things work. I don't think the Blazers are going to go out and spend and go get Crosby or these big name guys. I mean, they haven't done it really in the last 4 or 5 years other than Brady.
Well, just because you haven't done it doesn't mean you can't do it.
Big name edge rushers and big name, one guy that's going to come in and spend like Sauce Gardner or, getting at quarterback or getting a cornerback. I just don't see him doing what the Colts did or other teams. So I think they're going to try to find the best OCDC that's going to be able to work, maintain, develop draft picks and develop mid-level guys or, not fringe players, but guys that aren't in the top tier, but, in the second level and try to make it happen with the edge rushers, with the DBs. So that's my opinion. Great job again.
Thank you.
I'm still exhausted from the Bears. What do you think the Bears are going to do Sunday?
I think they can beat the Rams. This team is looking like a team of destiny to me. I mean, I love how Caleb's playing, even though he didn't play his best game, even though that offense struggled in the first half. They found a way in the second half. And then furthermore, which is not being talked about, we continue to talk about Ben Johnson, but how about the job that Dennis Allen has been able to do as a defensive coordinator? Not necessarily, you talk about making, chicken stuff out of chicken salad or chicken salad out of chicken whatever. He's been able to do that, and they've gotten enough pressure. They've gotten enough turnovers. They've done it all throughout the year. I think he's definitely been a great coaching hire for them. So I think the sky's the limit. Absolutely. You factor in the weather, and I just think there's something wrong with this Rams team to where the Bears will be able to expose it. And as crazy as it sounds, most likely they're going to end up in the NFC Championship game. Now, I happen to think it could be against the 49ers. I think it's destiny where everybody wants to see that game happen again, which was an exciting game, back and forth game. But this time it would be in Chicago. And I would not be surprised if Chicago would move on. Although, San Francisco has something to play for because they want to play in that home Super Bowl for themselves.
Absolutely. And they could probably take a, blueprint of what Chicago and what New England's been doing. You got to get young quarterbacks. If you look at the 8 teams, there's 7 young quarterbacks and then 1 old guy, right? Stafford's the only old man. Everyone else are 2 or 3 year. You got Stroud, you got Williams, you got May, you got Nix. There's 4 guys in their second year, right? And they're all in the second round of playoffs.
Right. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's what you got to look at. Maybe getting, young quarterbacks, hungry coaches that are young too. Ben Johnson's 37, 39 years old. I think that's your blueprint. You see what these other guys are doing. So again, great show. I wish the Bucs the best, and I hope they find some solid OCDC help and develop. Hopefully, we'll get some help for Bucky Irving. Either in off season or what's going to happen with our running back situation, and get those DBs set up, and we'll see what happens in the before the draft if they're making any big moves. So
all right, my friend, what do we say to end off the show?
Thanks for wasting my time. Good fight forever. And if you don't know, now you know. Chicago.
There you go. Good stuff there. Sun Devil Dave killing it as always. All right, we'll read the rest of these comments. We'll get out of here for the night. Appreciate it once again for all the interaction, all the phone calls, all the text messages. They mean a lot. Rashad got so much to say about the Buccaneer Nation. Fans filled their seats when Brady and the boys were here, right? Maybe give us a better product on the field to watch, Mr. White. Pretty good product. Not a Super Bowl product, but pretty good, pretty exciting in the hunt, winning NFC South titles. Not awful. I mean, I get it's not Tom Brady, but nothing's Tom Brady. It's that's unbelievable. Truth. It's 300 degrees in Ray J sometimes, right? So remember that team we fans support so much. Some sell tickets, but not all. Bell says better product, respect too. If it wasn't for people like Peter, we wouldn't even be able to have the support group. And that's the reason why we do the Sports Web in the first place. Appreciate you. Don't forget the corporations buy tickets and sell them to whomever they want. Chris, 100%. That's possible. Steve, he was told to step down or they would have fired him. I don't know the whole story, but he definitely stepped down. I think there was some talk of him being, the Steelers don't do that. What did they have? 3 coaches in the last like 50, 60 years? Ridiculous. 69 years. They have 3 coaches. Crazy. Rashad got some nerve, send his ass to Washington or Cleveland so he can see how good he had it in Tampa Bay. Bye. Tomlin just needs a year off, rest his mind and body. Good stuff there, Chris. Great show, Pete. Go Bucs. Go Bucs. Thank you very much.
Fire the cannon!
Love Tucker, though. Absolutely. King Cook says, trust. We can get a way better back than White anyway. Steve Mike. Hey, Peter, you think you're interviewing McDaniel and Monken for the head coach? JP Peterson's mentioned that. Maybe tune in tomorrow to his show from 10 a.m. to 12 noon here on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, all those great social media platforms. He'll give you that analysis. I don't think so. I still think Bowles is going to be the coach, but who knows? You know, the Glazers have different ways of thinking. Maybe they're thinking something different now with some of these candidates that have been opened up. But I do think it's been reported that McDaniel is coming in here for an offensive coordinator interview, and so is Monken. Kings, Rashad White speaking the truth. Bowles needs someone else to call the defense. Steve, they can come out and say we have hired McDaniel and Bowles has stepped down. Certainly possible. If we don't go to get Max, we're primed for another season in 26 like 25. We have to change our philosophy. Agree with you. You have to get desperate at this point. You have to trade some draft capital. You do. People say it's crazy, but you can do it. You've done it before. Why not do it for a player like that? I get it. He's injured, but it's not a major injury. He's been a highly productive guy, high motor, can definitely transform your defense. He can. Why talking stuff about the Bucs Nation like we don't support our team is bullspit. That's where he crossed the line for me. Get him out of here. Multiple players speaking out against Bowles. He still has a job. Honestly, the Glazers must be regretting giving him that extension. King again. I just don't know what experience OC wants to come in a situation where thanks to Scott Reynolds, we know Bowles hijacked Grizzard's game plans. That wasn't good. Heard that. Great show. Thanks for doing this for us, Peter. Always. Steve Mike.
Oh, yeah.
Tell you what, guys, tune in for this. Let's go out to Mr. Gene Deckerhoff in case you can get a chance to see his press conference. I asked him some questions last week here about his favorite moments, and I'll start up the gut. So in case you didn't see it, we'll replay it right here. Here is the first question about his favorite broadcasting moment in Tampa Bay Buccaneer history on the evolution of sports talk television. Enjoy. Favorite announcing moment besides Super Bowl 37 and 55?
Ronnie Barber's 92-yard interception return for a touchdown. That's my number one all-time play for the Buccaneers. In the top 4, Ronnie Barber, Joe Juravicius, you go Joe. And the documentary, by the way, that's on Amazon, they have some of those calls. But Joe Juravicius' son was dying, and he did not fly with the team. He came in like the night before the game. And when he made that catch on 3rd down and just ran down the sideline, you know, I get emotional. I'm emotional right now, but that was a very emotional moment, I think, for all of us. And then, hey, I can't forget, we get the ball back against the New Orleans Saints last year, and Mike Evans needs 5 more yards to reach 1,000 for the 11th year in a row. I have never seen this stadium react or his teammates react, and coaches on the broadcast booth like we did when Mike made that catch to reach 1,000. That's in my top 10. Michael Spurlock, Run Michael, our first kickoff return touchdown. And 5 years before that, we had a kid named Vernon Turner against Detroit that ran back our very first punt return for a touchdown. So those are great moments for me, great memories, and I was part of it. I didn't do any of the running, I didn't do any of the tackling, but I said touchdown Tampa Bay better than most, okay?
There you go. How do you not like that? That's 1 minute and 21 seconds of Gene Deckerhoff talking about the most memorable moments in Tampa Bay Buccaneer history. And you get it here exclusively on the Sports Web. I'm right there. I'm interviewing him. He's talking to me. And I shake his hand because I met him when I was 10 years old, because back then you could meet players, you could meet broadcasters, because the Bucs were so bad. They had a Bucs fan fest, and they had Gene Deckerhoff out there shaking hands, kissing babies. 37 years later, he's retiring. It's crazy to think. And I got a chance to shake his hand and talk to him. It's an unbelievable moment. Just surreal, right? It's so surreal. So surreal, but amazing. Great to talk to him. Here is what, and you knew I had to ask this question because you got Mike Alstott in the background. You got the jersey, right? And it's always Alstott up the gut. That was his famous call. This was the last question here. Pay attention as he gives his send-off here. We may have to use this sound effect too because it's pretty damn good from Gene Deckerhoff, the great Gene Deckerhoff, here with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the evolution of sports talk television. Enjoy.
Maybe one more.
I'll start up the gut.
I'll start up the gut. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Warren Sapp. Every time I see Warren, he comes up, he squeezes my hand, he gives me a hug. I want to call. I want to hear it, Gene. I want to hear the call. And it's funny. I got a call from one of Warren's teammates. New Year's Day. I mean, shocked the heck out. In fact, I didn't want to even answer the phone because I didn't recognize the phone. Okay. I guess I can I mention Tom Brady? Can I mention John Lynch? Can I mention John Lynch?
Sure, absolutely.
John Lynch called me. It was 8:30 my time. It had to be, 5:30? He's in California, right? Well, I don't know. It's 49ers playing in California.
Yes, California,
But
yes.
it was John called. He says, Gene, I just want to tell you, you're the best, man. Congratulations on a phenomenal career. He says, Sapp and Brooks and I have been on the phone for the last 24 hours talking about you and what you meant for the program. I said, John, that is just marvelous and wonderful. Appreciate your phone call. But those are relationships that you build. John Lynch, thank you very much. Maybe we'll see you down the road. Okay? Anyway, thank you very much. Go Bucs! Fire them cannons! Thank you.
That's it. Hopefully you get a chance to have him on the show again. As a Bucs fan, you got to get emotional because that guy's been doing it for a long time and doing it no matter if they win or lose. And at the level he's been doing it, he's 80 years old. It's just amazing to talk to a sports broadcasting legend like Gene Deckerhoff. I am just saying. All right, let's go out to King Cook. Mean Gene, Ring of Honor 2026, period. Go Bucs. Go Bucs.
Fire the cannon!
Go Bucs.
Fire the cannon!
And of course this. I mean, just awesome stuff. You know, you get the opportunity once again, thanks to the JP Peterson show. In collaboration, getting credentialed. Thanks to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for welcoming the JP Peterson show, yours truly, along with the Sports Web, and giving us the opportunity to talk to guys like that. It's been amazing. Amazing year. Be on the field, be in the press box, no matter if they win or lose, especially being on the field at the end of the game. You don't take that stuff for granted. You don't. You always keep a perspective, right? You're 8 years old and your dad sits you down and he makes you a Bucs fan and you're a Bucs fan for life, and you're falling asleep in your dad's car listening to Gene Deckerhoff because you can't watch the game because the Bucs are so bad and they're getting blown out, but you're falling asleep to Gene Deckerhoff call Bucs games. And you meet him when you're 10 years old and you're inspired by that, and you try to model your life after broadcasters like that. And he's so fortunate and so lucky to do this the way I've been able to do it. And it's guys like that, I was talking about my friend, the great TJ Reeves, my mentor, the media icon. He's amazing how long he's been able to be, the Bucs sideline guy, and how great he is at what he does. Just try to, have that type of career and that type of life and do the Sports Web. Like, this is the inspiration for all that. And again, I just put it in perspective. Like, you're talking to somebody that you met when you were 10 years old, and you not only listened to him when he was calling the Bucs, when he was calling the Florida State Seminoles. Let me go out to Eric Moreno to wrap it up for the night. Eric Moreno, go ahead, my friend.
What's going on, Peter? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, bud. How you hanging in there? You doing good?
Yeah. Would you be you think Mike McDaniel will be a good fit for the Bucs offense?
Well, you tell me. We had the question of the night: McDaniel or Monken? Who do you want as the Bucs offensive coordinator?
Well, to what it fits Baker, I think it's McDaniel, because Monken wants to push the ball down the field. I don't know if that's Baker. I mean, that's not Baker's strength.
Well, you like to push the ball down the field. You barely push the ball down the field. You have weapons on this team, so So
I mean, Monken's been here before, but I want someone younger. So I think McDaniel will be a good fit.
All right. What else? Who's a more stable organization for John Harbaugh to go to? Is it the New York Giants or is it the Atlanta Falcons?
I hope he doesn't go to the Falcons, but I hope he goes to the Giants.
Okay, so you think the Falcons are more stable than the Giants at this point?
I mean, Falcons. Yeah.
So okay, all right. What else, man? What else is on your mind tonight?
Do you think the HCC gets done by the Rays this year?
My guy JP Peterson, another great broadcaster in this area, has been saying it over and over again. It's going to be HCC. I think it's going to be HCC. In fact, I've said this before and I'll say it again. You know, the reason that deal gets done in the first place is because they have some type of assurance, not only from Rob DeSantis, who, by the way, the owners are connected to, they had talks with, okay, but the owners know this. They know that there's some type of deal in place, or why would you sell it to them in the first place? Major League Baseball knows this. It just hasn't been officially announced. So I definitely think there is a deal done, and it makes sense to be at HCC. Love St. Pete, love downtown St. Pete, but it's time. It's high time. And you could see it last year. You could see the majority of the time you sold out Rays games. You're in the center of it all. It makes too much sense for them to be right by Raymond James Stadium.
Yeah. I mean, like a mile away.
Yeah, it's a mile away. How about that? And I'm only down the street from it, my friend. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good spot too. Probably would it be a waterfront or probably not?
I don't think it's going to be a waterfront, man. It's just going to be a regular stadium. They're not going to do any waterfront. It's going to be an entertainment.
Roof?
Well, translucent. I don't think it's going to be retractable. I would wish it was retractable, but it costs a lot more money to do that. So
they got the money.
Well, not all that money. It costs more money for a retractable roof. Eric? All right. What else, buddy?
Just hope the Bucs can, get something and, fix the defense. And do you think the Raiders would do this trade? Zion and first round pick and then a second round pick for Crosby?
I would do that.
Yeah.
I would do that. I would. I think Zion, lots of potential, kind of fell off. I'd like him as a corner, but you drafted Morrison, you draft Parrish. You can always go and get a corner maybe in free agency. You get an edge rusher like Max Crosby, makes your secondary that much better. I would do that. A first and second round with Zion, absolutely. Sign me up.
You think Dean is gone?
Do I think who's gone?
Dean?
Yeah, I think he's gone. I think he's done. I think he's done here. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. All right, man. Appreciate you.
Have a good night.
All right. Keep your head up. Sounds so sad, man. I know you're dealing with something, but pop up a little bit, my friend. It's a Wednesday night. All right, we'll read these comments and then we'll get out of here for the night. I promise. That Gene part was sweet, was awesome, right? Facts, Peter. It's all perspective. Chris Cole. Peter Blake for the next sideline guy for the Bucs with TJ in the booth. And I like that. That's good. I don't think it's an age thing as much as it's someone Baker and the offense can connect to. Absolutely. Angie McClendon, thanks a lot for tuning in. Big time Bucs fan. I know who you are. Bucs Life. Thank you very much, as always, for commenting and being supportive of the evolution. The president announced talks with the Rays. I worked there. President of HCC. So there you go. Absolutely. Angie says if it got that far to say something to employees, it's come that far. Yeah. To me, I think it's kind of like a foregone conclusion that this deal is going to be done. And it makes sense because when you listen to the press conference, it's 100 acres or over. So all the spots that have been pointed out are not in that conversation. This is 100 acres or more. This is what the Rays owners are looking for. And again, do you really think that Major League Baseball would sell this team to ownership if they didn't know that there was something in the background being done? Because you have to get this done. You have to get this done for the financial probabilities, if you will, of the Rays. If you want the Rays to spend money, eventually you're going to have to get a new stadium done. And I think this ownership is interested in doing that. But from where it's at right now, we know that that's not going to make money, that it doesn't draw. We do think that it will draw in HCC, and you do think in that area in itself, being around that population and putting in, an entertainment district there and everything like that, you know, all the bells and whistles, that this will work out. And I trust Major League Baseball. I trust the Rays' new ownership. I think it gets done, and it's definitely, you know, a cause for celebration for all Rays fans, because you guys deserve a new stadium. You have a new ownership, and you deserve a team that's going to be competitive every year and go for a World Series championship. So thank you very much, Angie, for all that. Again, thanks a lot to all our guests for the night. Mr. Harry the Greek, professional handicapper extraordinaire. We'll edit that up. We'll get his picks. We'll see how accurate he was. Remember, he went 9 for 10 last week. So if you're trying to win some shekels, make some bets, go ahead, watch that video. We'll have it up there on Facebook and YouTube, and of course, Twitter in itself. Try to make some bets. Of course, Tampa Bay, Ray Kennedy, best of the Bay. Thanks a lot to him. All the callers, all the text messages, I appreciate it. You are the lifeblood of this show. Like and subscribe to the Sports Web on YouTube. Friend me on Facebook at Peter H. Blake. Remember, Facebook stars are open. YouTube super chats. If you like the content, give to the content. 3 things as we'll wrap it up. We'll keep it down. Roommates are in the house. They're probably sleeping. That's what they do. They're old. Bring your passion. Bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter. What time is it? It's my time. And for fans of the Sports Web and the Tampa Bay sports fan, it's your time. Especially you Go Bucs fans. We'll see who they hire here. And if they do hire somebody, we got your breaking news here on the evolution of Sports Talk Television, especially to you Go Bucs fans. We'll see you next time on the evolution of Sports Talk Television. As we always say to end off this show, Go Bucs.